It took just 10 generations for the world, which was created to be this beautiful Garden of Eden, to descend into a world of decadence and a society so evil that God decides that he will destroy the entire world. It was only because of Noah and his family that the world was able to continue. Who is this Noah? The Torah describes Noach was an ish tzaddik. He was a righteous person, and continues to add, he was righteous in his generation. Two rabbis argue in the Talmud, what does it mean righteous in his generation? One sees it as a greatness of Noah. He was righteous even in his generation, when nobody supported righteousness, when people were so evil and bad, and nevertheless he stood apart and was righteous even in his generation. Can you imagine if he lived in the time of Abraham, where he would have had support systems and people like-minded wanting to build this world and make it a better place? He would have been so much more righteous. Another opinion says it's actually telling us that Noah was not so righteous after all. He was righteous in his generation. Relative to the people around him, he was righteous. But had he been born into the generation of Abraham, nobody might even have heard of him, because he would have been so insignificant. He was just relatively righteous. And whilst these are two opinions arguing about the persona, Noah, they give us an insight into our own pursuit of growth and development and our pursuit of righteousness. We all need two motivations in our righteousness. The one is to know what our end goal is. What is absolute righteousness? What does it look like to be righteous in its absolute form? And we have in our minds an image of Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, who was a servant of God and a servant of his people, and woke up every single day to make this world a Garden of Eden, to make this world a better place. We need to have this image of what it means to be absolutely righteous. But that in itself is not going to impact on our lives, because Moses was so different. He was a uniquely different human being. How does that relate to me? There has to be another motivation in our growth and development, and that is to say, where am I? Where do I stand today? And relative to where I am right now, how can I take one step to grow and to develop and to be a little bit better tomorrow than I was yesterday? This is how we utilize a GPS system every time we navigate a map or a road that we want to go down to reach a destination. We need to know what our destination is. What is the absolute goal? Where do we want to ultimately reach? We have a purpose and a goal, an end point. But at the same time, we need to know, what's my present location? Where do I stand right now? Because if I only know my end goal, I won't know how to turn out of my driveway. And if I only have my point of origin and I don't have a destination point, I might live in my own tiny little neighborhood the rest of my life. We have to aspire to absolute greatness, to goals that are absolute, horizons that are way, way beyond. But we also need to aspire to reach them by looking at our lives presently. Where do I stand today? And which way do I turn out of my driveway tomorrow morning? May Hashem give us the wisdom and the ability to pursue righteousness, to become better human beings, to make the world a better place by having absolute goals and relative growth. Have a beautiful Shabbos.